Hey folks, thanks for watching today. I want to take you through the program that we use for our designing and modeling and for our 3D printing. So in 7th grade we use a program called Tinkercad. That is Tinkercad.com. Tinkercad.com. That is the program that we use for all of our design work. It is a web-based program, so all of the designs can be saved to the interwebs. So you will probably say join now. I am going to sign in because this is not my first time. So once you sign in, you're going to go to your dashboard. You might not have any designs yet, or you might have quite a few. I have quite a few already because I have worked on this before. So I want to start off by creating a new design. So I'm going to click the Create New Design button, and then it's going to give me this blank canvas, this work plane. So I have a couple different things going on here. I have this work plane, I have a grid on it, and it is positioned where I'm kind of looking from the top and the front at the same time. This is my directional cube. You can see when I put my mouse on a certain point of it, part of it's highlighted. So if I want to go and look at a different side, I can click and then my work plane will rotate. So that is my directional cube, my navigation cube. So the next thing we have, I have a name up here. It's not a name that I put in there, it's a name the system gave me. So the first thing I want to do is change that name. If I click or if I hover over it, it says change name. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to change it to Kongable's new design. So now I have my new design named. So now I can start creating. If I look over here on the right, I can go with basic shapes, of which I have many different options, or I could change that and get a lot of different things, or I could do all of them. I'm going to start out with some basic shapes here. So I am going to click on an object, drag it over, and put it into my work plane. Now I have a lot of different buttons in this one object. If I want to make it bigger, I can click on a white box. Clicking on that white box, I can expand it. If I click on another one, it expands. If I click on the one in the center, I can grow it height-wise. And if I want it off of the work plane, I'm going to go here. So I'm looking only at the front. I can click on this cone and it will lift it off of the work plane. It's not going to increase it in size. It's only going to lift it off the work plane. I want to go back and show you some other options. We have these arrows that have a arrow, an arc, and then another arrow. If I click on that, I can rotate it around a radius. I can rotate it many different degrees, forward or reverse. I can do that with another arc with arrows, and I can rotate that. I can manipulate this however I choose to do so. So now if you look over here, I have some different options over here. We're not going to spend too much time on this, but you can either have a solid or a hole. Right now I'm clicked on solid. This is going to be a solid object. I want to bring in something else. So I'm going to click off the side. Now I have my red rectangle-ish cube. I'm going to bring in a cylinder. I'm going to lift it up, move it, and what I did was I just clicked on the object and then just drug it over I'm going to make it bigger. And I want to shrink it just a little bit so I can see this cone. Set it down. And now I'm going to, instead of making that cylinder a solid, I'm going to make it a hole. So now it's a hole, and now I can make it bigger. So if I want this to be the look of my penny boat, I can have a hole inside a solid, but they are not together. We have a separate, if I click over on the side, I see I have a hole inside a solid, but they're not together. I can do what's called a grouping of those objects. So I'm going to click on one, hit and hold shift, click on the other one, and now I have, over here it says shapes 2, so I have 2 shapes that are clicked on right here. I'm going to go right above the shapes 2 to this icon that says group. I'm going to push it, and now instead of seeing a hole and a solid, I just see my object that has a hole in it. So now I could print this, and it would be a cube with a hole inside. So if I like this, I can mess with it, do whatever. If I decide, you know what, that's not exactly where I want that hole, or I want it deeper, or whatever, I can click on my object, go right beside the group button where it says ungroup, click on that, and now I have 2 shapes again. And I could say, you know what, I don't like necessarily that. I could say, you know what, I'm going to get rid of one of these things. I can separate them. I could change one of the others and then group them back together if I so choose. What I also could do, maybe I don't want a cylinder. Maybe I want an object just like this one, only a little bit smaller. So I'm going to click on my cylinder, hit delete, get rid of that, click on my rectangle, and I'm going to go up here and duplicate. Make it a duplicate. Well, where'd it go? There should have 2. Well, it's right on top. So you just move it over, and now I have 2. And so what I could do, if I want to shrink it just a little bit, move it down just a little bit, move it up, make it a hole, move it over, and then hit shift, group them, and now I have a box that's empty on the inside. So that'd be a great place for my pennies, for my penny boat. So there, folks, is just a really quick demonstration of what you can do on Tinkercad. It's a pretty fun program. You can do all sorts of things. My advice is to check it out and just have fun with it. Thanks so much for watching, folks. I really appreciate the view. Hey, make sure, even on Tinkercad, you work hard, because hard work is its own reward. Thanks for watching.